Wow, this bright yellow bus is the most color we've had in this movie so far. The recurring joke I kept making when I saw the trailer to this was, wow, I wish this movie was in color. Yeah, I know. Everyone's complained about how dull and gray and terrible the color palette is of these movies. It's nothing new. But it's just such a bizarre choice. This is not meant to be a dark film. Or at least it's a Superman movie that's starting a new franchise off, and it should not look like this. Everything just kind of feels flat and washed out. It's not fun to watch, and I feel no sense of joy and excitement. Maybe if it got brighter and more colorful as it went along, transitioning from a more mundane world to one that's more exciting and vibrant, but no, it's not like that. This is the color palette of a family drama about someone coming back home after their father died to try to come to terms with the crap they experienced in their childhood. Not a Superman movie. It has the same kind of color scheme as The Ring. Samara is going to come crawling out of a well to try to drag these kids to hell for escaping the bus death. And oh my god, why haven't we had Superman versus Samara before? The use of color in this movie looks more like a horror movie. And I'm not even against a dark Superman movie, one where this kind of color palette would be appropriate. But this is supposed to be introducing us to this Superman. This is someone's first exposure to the character who was a symbol of hope and humanity and truth and justice and all that. Get the essential idea of the character across first, then you can challenge it with darkness of moral grays and situations that are not easily solved by a guy flying around with super strength. Visually, the movie just becomes a gray sludge for me. Nothing that makes me want to cheer or be excited about anything that's happening, and I feel unengaged and lethargic, especially since what's actually happening in the film isn't really that compelling or good. By the way, I didn't even realize until the watch-through for this review that apparently Clark is in Canada. The only reason I know that now is because I'm paying close enough attention to the dialogue for the military guy to offhandedly say, the Americans are there too. Yes, the guy has a Canadian flag patch on his uniform, but why would I be paying attention to that instead of his face? My point is that the movie has not done a great job establishing the locations of anything or where Clark is nowadays. It honestly didn't click in my mind that he wasn't in Kansas despite the ocean oil rig in a landlocked state because everything looks the goddamn same. I don't know, maybe you could just call me stupid for that. Yet another example of Linkara versus geography, but personally I blame, once again, the gray color palette over everything so different locations aren't distinct. It doesn't help matters that the washed out colors make Superman's blues look like black in some shots. Like, just take a look at this bit with Superman in front of the sun. We are literally seeing him in broad daylight, and he looks more like he's a silhouette with how much shadow is on him. It's Superman! On a field of bright white all around him. He could be the most colorful thing here, but no, I'm pretty sure the mountains and sky have more blue on them. And don't tell me he'd have heavy shadows from that angle. They could have filmed this any way they wanted, and they deliberately did it like this. Visuals are what Zack Snyder is most known for in terms of the cinematography of his films. It was a deliberate choice to be this shadowed. Hey, when I started doing my show, the shots looked very yellow. Just a result of the default white balance. Nowadays, the default actually looks better because of different lighting in this place, but I still adjust it with RGB curves. I bring this up because every time I see a shot like this in the movie, I want to take the movie into Adobe Premiere to try to fix it. Why does this shot look like this? It's like they're filming it through a Listerine bottle. I posted this on Twitter, and there's actually some disagreement about why it looks this way, because the version on HBO Max doesn't look like this, and another one looked even better. I mean, it still was tinted a bit, but it looked better than this. My version is a Blu-ray copy I got from someone else, so maybe it's just a result of the encoding, but it just looks so weird. If this was how it looked theatrically, I can't remember. It was 9 years ago. I don't get it. Why was it this green? No other interiors in this movie look like this. How does it enhance the mood? What was the reasoning behind it? I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. It's a nitpick, but it's just, I don't get it. I just noticed an annoying thing with the cinematography, which is Also, something I don't blame on the movie itself, but rather how a lot of stuff is shot nowadays. All the unnecessary shaky cam. Like, here's a distant shot of Clark and Martha hugging, but they can't keep the camera from shaking. I love how the Steadicam was a revolutionary piece of camera technology, and decades later, a lot of directors decided to get rid of them, ostensibly to make things more real, when in reality, most people aren't just rapidly moving their heads around at any given moment. Since I'm not really giving a play-by-play of the fight, here's another annoying cinematography thing. Science fiction really needs to stop trying to emulate the Battlestar Galactica reboot in mood and character dynamics, and especially in cinematography, because 3 times now in this film, we've had a shot of CGI ships or aircraft, and it's always distant shot shaky cam, then quick zoom in on the craft and refocus. Battlestar Galactica used to do that shot all the damn time, and frankly, I've grown really tired of it. It stopped being gritty or realistic or whatever buzzword you want to use, and is now just shorthand for, we can't think of anything interesting to do with these shots, and think just following them is too boring. I hate the way his heat vision is portrayed in these movies. This overpowered, massive blasts of energy that look like they're designed to blow up mountains. It just makes Superman look scary. And you should not be making the pinnacle of goodness and charm and likability and all the best traits of humanity look frightening. The idea, like all the super fast kind of movements and everything they have him do, is probably to emphasize how powerful he really is, but it comes across like overcompensating. Like we couldn't believe his heat vision was that impressive without it being that destructive.